Okay, so our first step is to install Node.js. You can download it from nodejs.org and choose this one here. I have already installed it, so I'm gonna cancel it. But after you install it, you can check by opening PowerShell and type in the PowerShell, type in node-v. This gives you the current version of your node. It should be the same as the one here, 5.10.1 here. And you should also notice that we are in our home directory. And now we'll install Cordova using npm. Simply type in npm install -g Cordova. Now we have Cordova installed, we can make our first app. So this is the folder where I put my PhoneGap apps. As you can see, the folder directory is under code and under PhoneGap. So from our home directory, we can do list to list all the folders under our home directory, and then let's just clear this. And if we do cd such code, which is the folder here, and then dash PhoneGap. Now you can press tab for autocomplete. So code PhoneGap, press enter. So now we are in our this directory here where we want to put our apps. And if I do a list, we only have one folder there called hello world. And for this video, I'm going to make another folder, and I'm going to use the Cordova plugin, Cordova create test app. And we have a new folder here, test app. If we open it, we have all the pre-made folders here. Under www is our website, and then under platforms is where we add Android, iOS, Windows, etc. So to add our Android platform under this folder here, we go back to the PowerShell, Cordova platform, add Android dash save dash save. Oh yeah, so we haven't gone into our test app folder yet. That's why this error message came up. So we simply do cd test, and again you can auto complete that by pressing the tab button, test app. We clear this, and in this folder we do Cordova platform add Android dash save. So now it's going to add Android into our folder here. We can double check it by going to the folder. It says Android here. So now we have our app and we can do some previewing and testing. So I'm using Atom editor here. If I simply drag the test app folder in here and go to index.html. So if I type in h2 tag app testing, save that. So there's two ways we can preview our app. We can either simply open index.html in something like Chrome, which we can see our app here, app testing, or we can use the repo emulator. To install the repo emulator, we simply go back to PowerShell, type in on inside our test app, we type in npm install -g repo emulator. And now we have repo emulator installed. We can, within the test app folder, we can do repo emulate. And this is going to open up a folder, open up a web page for us, which you can see it here. And now if we want to do another testing on the app, we can put another h3 tag here. It says testing number 2. We can preview it on Chrome here or on our repo by refreshing the page. Testing number 2 here. Now, there's another way to test our app, which is to test the app on our tablet. To be able to do that, we have to install 2 files here: the Android Studio file and the Java development kit. Now, if we don't have Android Studio or Java development kit installed, if we go to our PowerShell, oh, by the way, you can cancel out the repo emulate by pressing Ctrl C and terminate the job. Now we're back in our testing folder. If I do a clear, so here we can do Cordova run Android. This will give us an error first because we don't have Android Studio installed. And now I'll install Android Studio first. Start Android Studio. Okay, now we'll install the Java development kit. So now we have Android Studio and Java development kit installed. If we do Cordova run Android, and before we press enter, you can connect your tablet to your computer and make sure you have the developer debugging option turned on. On your tablet, it should ask you to allow USB debugging mode. Press OK on that. Then on the PowerShell, you press enter. This will say deploying to device, your tablet serial number here. What this is doing, this is building an APK file and deploying onto your tablet. And then on your tablet, it's going to open it. So now if you see this message here, launch success, you should see a APK file opening automatically automatically on your tablet. And that's how you do the app testing on your tablet without using a phone app, using the native tablet APK file. And now go back to the app file here. If you want to install any plugin under the folder here, you go back to the PowerShell, make sure you're in the test app folder. You can do Cordova plugin, add Cordova plugin camera. And now go back to the folder, plugins. You should see the plugin folder here. And after some testing, I find that if you want to use the plugin, such as the camera plugin, it will only work if you deploy it using Cordova Run Android. The same plugin will not work through PhoneGap. So the only way to test your plugins, to test your app, is run Cordova Run Android and build the app onto your device.